Good morning, people. Happy New Year. Dino back. Right, as you probably know, I've been away for a little while. There's a couple of reasons. Dealing with a few things with my health, and was making me feel very low. So, as you can probably imagine, Tottenham ain't exactly the thing to bring me up again. So, I've lost the will to live with when it comes to Tottenham, if I'm honest. But they're still in my heart. As like many of you, they just absolutely do our head in. But they're still there, aren't they? Yeah, I haven't posted for a long time because I'll be honest, it was just saying the same tripe over and over again. And I'm not one, as you probably well know, to do a load of clickbait and say stuff or just to try and get people to do views. I don't really care. I do care. I want people to listen to me, obviously. But for me, it's more about the community bringing together. I don't monetize anything, so I don't care about that. I'm not at a stage to be monetising it, and I've got the time to put into it for that anyway. But I just like to offload and maybe have a little conversation with a few fellow Tottenham fans. Anyway, that going. I wanted to get back into it now because obviously the transfer window has come in, and a lot has gone on since my last post. Put that straight again. Well, God knows, I can't remember what my last post was, but a hell of a lot's gone on. Levy's gone out, I think, in that time, maybe. I can't remember. But it's still the same Dross Tottenham. I'm very disappointed, if you want my opinion on Frank. I'm disappointed in how it's gone with him, because I really expected more. But I think he's definitely not the one. I think, unfortunately, he is managing Tottenham like he's still a lower league manager. He hasn't got the vision or the the ability to be able to go, right, I've gone from a lower league team to now pushing for Champions League or top 6 team with aspirations for getting in the top 6, which is what Tottenham should be doing. We certainly shouldn't be going to these games like Brentford and Sunderland and going for it and being happy with a draw and things like that, especially at home. I do believe sometimes Tottenham fans, and I think we're all guilty of it, me myself as well, probably get delusions of grandeur where we should be fighting. But why shouldn't we? We've been up there. It's the club that have allowed the squad to go downhill, our managers to be dross, not to back managers when we needed to. So it's been the management, the top lot at Spurs that have been the cause of our downfall. But it's us fans that wear our pride on our shirt, or whatever the saying is, and it's in our hearts. Do you know what I mean? So it's us that's going to feel all the pain from it. So we're going to try and we want the best. Do you know what I mean? And maybe we have been a little bit, I don't know, with the sprinkling of the Champions League final that we had, and the time under Poch was challenging for titles. That's where we want to be as a fan base. And I can remember back there when everyone was taking the mick out of us, or me, all the Arsenal mates and West Ham fans. Oh yeah, won anything. And I was like, I don't care. And I was honest with them. They didn't understand why I was saying. But the fact that we're at the top challenging and winning 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, at one point 10 games in a row, unbeaten for like 15 games at some points, but winning them all, winning lots of them, majority of them, not losing at all. I was over the moon with that, and they couldn't understand that, because obviously they've been challenging at the top, not so much Chelsea, but Arsenal. They challenged at the top. For them, you've got to win something. Yes, you have got to win something. Of course, we want to win something, but as Tottenham fans, I think you'll understand, or ones that are my age, the fact that we was at the top all the time, Champions League. I mean, I never expected to see Tottenham in the Champions League in my lifetime, back in the day. Now, we're expecting it. Do you see what I mean? And I think we should be expecting it now, because we got to that point. Unfortunately, the club have let us drop back behind that, and now let's be honest, guys, we've got a mid-table team squad. I don't believe they're as bad as they're playing now. I think that's down to the manager. Honestly, I think that is. There's lots of players playing that are out of form, low in confidence. But I also think, unless we get so bad that we're looking like staring relegation or fighting relegation, then there's no point in getting rid of Frank at the moment. As much as I want to, part of me wants to go get rid of him and get someone else in. But my heart is saying, hold it out till the summer and get Poch back. And even if we have to go behind the scenes to have a chat with Poch and say, what players do you want? Do you know what I'm saying? Do a little bit of skullduggery behind the scenes to try and see if he wants to bring some players in, who he wants in. Let him have a look at the squad. Do you know what I mean? Bring some players in that are going to play for his style, if you like. Bring those in. Frank goes in the summer. Hopefully, Arsenal, America get knocked out relatively early. Being selfish as a Tottenham fan, obviously. And then Poch can come in and make an early... come in early so you can have a pre-season, as opposed to if they go later in the tournament, he's going to be late coming to us and won't get a pre-season for us, which I don't think is ideal. In terms of the games, it's no point touching the games too much because we all know what's going wrong. But what's doing my head in the most with Frank, and it was the same with the big geezer that won the title, Postecoglou, we know who he is. I don't want to keep mentioning his name because I'm not saying that Postecoglou's way was any good, because you know, if you know any of my videos before, he was up there with our worst managers, without a shadow of a doubt. I know he won a trophy, but in my opinion, I know some people don't agree with me, we won that trophy in spite of him. And you've only got to look at Mickey van der Ven's interview to see that the actual players were taking over with the tactics and saying, come on coach, we can't do like this. Some people going, oh, that's really good that the coach can listen to that. No, the coach is paid to coach the team. Postecoglou was not. He had his way of playing, and even the players were thinking, right, if we get 1 or 2 up in games, which would rarely happen, but it would happen, we now need to look after that. It's a part of the game, is to protect that for a little while, get solid, and then at the end, if it's wear the other team down a little bit, and then you can hit them in a break and maybe get a 3rd or a 4th or whatever. What you don't do is go gung-ho with it all the time and then concede and then potentially lose. Because then what happens is you lose games, the players lose their confidence, and then you start to play badly in that formation. And then it is bad, because they're not confident going forward, so we're not scoring goals, and we're conceding all the time, because defence is all over the place. So to go back on that, I'm not comparing anything to Postecoglou, because I do not want to go back to him. But Frank, to be frank, about Frank, just mistakes that are happening on the pitch that are so obvious that me as a coach, I'm not a qualified coach, I ain't got a clue really, I'm just a fan. But I can see things going wrong on the pitch, and I'll get that guy into a room on a video and say, look, stop doing this, stop doing that, you need to be in this position when this is happening. These are professional footballers. I think people forget about this. They go, oh, just because they're getting paid a lot of money, you can't expect this. They are professionals. I'm a professional at my job. If I didn't do the certain things that I had to do at my job, I'd be fired, I'd be chucked off a job, or I wouldn't be paid. So stop giving these players a way out of it. I blame the players for lots of this, and I blame Frank because he's not coaching them properly. I think he's just scared. He's scared witless to go forward in case he loses games, and in turn of that, we're playing, I don't know what's wrong. We're just playing like toothless football, like half-heartedly attacking with nothing to go. Don't get it wrong, I think he's got nothing to work, hardly anything to work with. But having said that, it's doing my head in how people keep saying, well, we haven't got Maddison, we haven't got Kulu. He's never had them two. Do you see what I'm saying? So stop keep making them as an excuse. He's not had them in his plans, and I'm sure the Tottenham staff know that they're probably out for most of the season, pretty much all the season. So Frank has gone in this season knowing he's not having those two players. So all of you out there keep giving an excuse or using them two players as an excuse. That's not an excuse. He should have gone to the ball and said, if these players are out, we need two of similar quality to come in their place. And in my opinion, we had one of our best windows, the last one. I'm not saying it was great, not at all. But I thought it was quite good if we had the right coach. And I honestly would put my house on the fact that Pochettino will get more out of players like Moani and Simmons. I mean, even like, look at Porro. Pedro Porro's like, he's half the player he was. And in the game yesterday, just one touch on it, when we've now got Kudus is now injured, so we've sold whatever his name is, Johnson, which I agree was a good sell. I don't care about what anyone says. He's not a good enough player for what we want. He scores goals. and he's the most weirdest player in the world because he scores goals in the right places, which we do need, of course. But anything else, what we bought him for as a winger, he's useless. But now we've sold him without bringing in a replacement. So now Kudus gets injured, and we've got no one on the wing. But I would have changed it slightly, and sorry about that there. I don't know what you think, Reece. I would have put Spencer's right back. I'd allowed Pedro Porro to go forward more and use him almost like a winger, a wing back, sort of protecting, but a winger. And then bring Kudus in slightly. Rather than they brought Moani on to go and play on the right as a right winger. He's a striker. They've not really played him as striker. Moani has not had a chance up front consistently for ages. Richarlison keeps getting put up front all the time. He's crap, Richarlison. Can't hold the ball up. Looking at that with that volley. He scored one against Bournemouth. It just shows that the Burnley one, I think it was the one he scored 2 goals against, was just a fluke. And he shinned that, if you remember rightly. If you look at it, that volley, everyone goes, oh, it's crap. He shinned that. And the one yesterday was almost identical to that one. It was falling perfectly. I was a striker when I was younger, and I would have buried that. And he's fallen back and just shinned it and manked it. That is Richarlison. He should have been out the side about 4 or 5, 2 seasons ago, but there you go. But that's another story. But Moani should have been given up front and given some time to get used to the Premier League so that he might give us something. They're not giving him enough time on the pitch to do anything, and when they are playing him, they're playing him out of position. Anyway, it's got a long video for my first one back. I've had a lot of build up, as you can probably see. I hope everyone's all right. Anyways, please do get involved down the bottom. You're probably not going to get me on the what do you call it? What they call now? Because I haven't posted for a while. But if you can, share it around amongst people that look at my stuff. Comment down below, please. Like and subscribe. You don't have to do this stuff if you don't want to. I don't really care, but it's just nice to keep a nice community, like I had before. Yeah, love you all, and please sign some players, Tottenham, and make sure they're top dot players is what we need. Not these little younkies that might be good in a couple of years. We're sick of that. We are sick of it. We don't want anyone that's good in a couple of years. We want someone that's good now. Love you all. Come on, you Spurs.